Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the first update for my rolling project 10 pan for 2025. First of all, yes, I am looking a little bit rough. It is after 5 p.m. and I started work at 7:40, which means I was up at probably 5 a.m. Anyways, don't judge me. I miss YouTube so much, and so I'm just trying to fit in filming and wherever I can, and I wasn't going to film today because I didn't have time to redo my makeup, but instead I said, you know what? We're doing it. So this is a classic rolling project 10 pan. It's focusing on finishing products as well as hitting pan and more difficult products. I have found great panning success through this just classic project pan over the last few years, slowly working my way through my collection. To kick it off, I'm working on 2 primers. The first is my NYX Angel Veil primer. I have thought that this would be an empty every single month for almost a year. That might be an exaggeration, maybe like 6 months, and it just keeps going. I've used this 14 times in the last month for a total of 110 tracked uses, and this predates my makeup tracking spreadsheet. And product just keeps coming out of here. A new addition to my project is my Rodial Soft Focus Glow Drops. This is a very hydrating, glowy primer. I like putting this on after my skincare and really letting it sink into my skin while I do my eyeshadow, and then put the NYX Angel Veil over my pores on top of this, and that's been working really well. I've used this a total of 7 times this past month. I was a dummy and forgot to mark it, but I believe I was up here and I've made, a little bit of progress in 7 uses. I do remember going from the top to about half took me roughly 20-25 uses, so I don't think this product is going to be very hard for me to finish at all. I have 35 tracked uses on this bottle, and as you can see, I'm over halfway done with it. It is 31 mils of product. I'm really enjoying using this so far, and I do hope I am through this before the weather starts warming up. We finally are able to make yet another new line in the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. I've used this 17 times in the last month for a total of 132 times. At the last update, I was here, and now on the opposite side, of course, I can see a window all the way down here, which this depth of product is basically just how large the doe foot is. So really, once that's out, there's it goes down even further, obviously, but I am finally feeling like I can successfully pan this foundation. It's been lasting so long. I've been working on this very diligently for months and months and months, and for many months there was no visual progress, which was really unmotivating for me, even though I knew it had to be going somewhere. And with 132 uses already on a standard 1 fluid ounce of product, and there still being like a third to a quarter left, it's good value for money. At least I do love this foundation. Something I do not love is this Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. I've used this 7 times since rolling it in last month, and I don't know if you can tell from that far away, but my under eyes are looking so crusty, and no matter what powder I set this with, no matter the teeny tiniest, I scrape off the product and I boop on my under eyes and blend it out. I do that kind of here, and I blend it up towards my inner corner, and it spreads the whole way across, and still it is creasy. It makes me look so old. I've used this a total of 37 times. Probably 30 of those uses has been me trying, over the years, me trying to make this work underneath my eyes, and it's just not happening. I do not need a concealer for spot concealing, so in the next month, I'm going to use this as a mixer. It's very light, so I'm going to pull out a foundation that's more my summer shade, and just try and get used out of it that way. If I hate my makeup every single time, even though this would be such a high value empty, I'm over hate panning, trying 5 million different ways to make something work for me. Obviously, I will try to make a product work for me, like within reason, but I hate this under my eyes, and I just don't prefer to spot conceal excessively. I feel like it makes my makeup look really heavy. I prefer a light medium coverage foundation, even though I have acne scars and active breakouts. I just prefer that my skin looks like skin rather than a full coverage mask, which is what, like, even if I mix this with this, like this is a spot concealer, it just kind of ends up looking heavy. Also, question, do you prefer the order in which I'm going in sharing my updates today, which is like how I would apply my makeup, or the products that have been in this project the longest leading up to the products I rolled in last month? Because I have kept this project rolling for over 2 years now, so the NYX Angel Veil primer has been in the longest out of all of these products. Another seemingly never-ending product, the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. I've used this 19 times since the last update for a total of 240 tracked uses. Again, I say tracked because a lot of my oldest makeup products I've had longer than my spreadsheet. This is a repressed version, and for months I've been hoping to hit pan in the center once again, and we're still not there. There is so much product in here. This powder is fantastic value for money. It sets my makeup really well and is a good like blotting type of powder too. Domino, do you need to be a jerk? He just pushed my lip gloss of the day off of a ledge. My Tarte Park Ave Princess bronzer. This is officially the oldest product in my makeup collection after doing some decluttering, and this is going to look very different from last time. I did end up repressing it. I will show you what it looked like last month, what it looked like immediately after repressing, and then what it looks like today with 15 more uses on it. There is so little bronzer left. I am really hoping to finish this in the next month or two. It's very thin in there, and I feel like repressing it almost made it appear more shimmery than it did originally. I'm not sure how that happened, but there's definitely a noticeable glow with this bronzer. It's the bronzer I'm wearing today. It's a really good color for me in my opinion. I like it a lot. But this is a mini with only 3 grams of product when it was new, obviously. And I have a total of 183 tracked uses, and we still have this much left. That's crazy. Speaking of crazy, my Tarte Party Blush. Am I seeing a dip? I will share the progress pictures to the side. I rolled this back in last month. This was the first blush I worked on in this Rolling Project 10 pan. I worked on it for a year and then wanted to switch it out, but now I'm remotivated to hit pan on it. I used it 16 times since rolling it into this project. I have a total of 80 tracked uses on it, and while from a quick glance it looks exactly the same as it has forever and ever, it's very discouraging, but if I angle it just right in the center part, which, what is that, a river in the embossing? I don't know. It is definitely dipping down. Definitely. And that makes me so excited. I did see someone recently on Instagram post a surprise blush pan. I don't know if it was the shade Party or just a different Tarte mini blush, and as a few of you have mentioned in my comments, the rest of the blush did still look basically untouched, even with a pan showing in the center. So I'm very hopeful that that will happen to me. I want pan in this so bad just because I feel like all the panners before me have finished this off completely, and this, along with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, kind of feel like a panner's rite of passage. Another product my goal is to hit pan on, and I am seeing a dip forming. This is Ofra Rodeo Drive, the very, very old version of this. I did use this 10 times this past month for a total of 75 uses. I am aiming for the center-ish, not just like pinpointing right in the center, and I do use quite a fluffy highlighter brush, and I don't pack on the highlighter. I just like boop my highlighter brush in here and then apply it on each side, but I can totally see there's a dip. Don't tell me I'm crazy. I know I see one, and I will be so excited to hit pan in this. I'm guessing maybe another 20 uses and I will have pan. If it's less than that, I will be shocked but so pleased. The last two products are lip products. I am trying to finish my Tarte Park Ave Princess mini lipstick. I've used this 6 times since the last update. That means wearing it for 6 days, so there are reapplications in there, especially as this is a cream lipstick, and this is getting so tiny. I love that this is almost like a balmy nude type product. Like, you can hardly see it. It's so comfortable, a very sheer formula. I'm loving this, honestly. It's no trouble to reach for it, but I would like to work it out of my collection, and I feel like I'm well on my way to doing that. And lastly, rolled in last month, is the Pat McGrath Mini Lust Gloss in the shade Flesh 6. And when I rolled this in, I was kind of raving about it, how much I love the formula. I love the gel-like texture, and that's still true. However, wearing it for 4 days, all day with reapplications, there are definitely cons to this lip gloss. I will be happy enough to finish it off, but it won't be one I will repurchase, which is also good to know. This is a very warm, deeper nude shade, as I am assuming is aimed towards someone with a much deeper skin tone with me. The formula is very gel-like, very comfortable, but if you're reapplying throughout the day, the pigment, it's so pigmented on my fair skin that the pigment starts to gather in the outer edge of my lips. I don't know, I'm usually wearing a lip liner, so maybe I need to experiment with that. Maybe it's just clinging to the lip liner I'm using, but it's just something I need to kind of keep a mirror handy and keep an eye on. And also, after many reapplications, it starts to feel a little bit gritty on the lips, and you know, sometimes you can't tell, like, are my lips really that chapped and it's like dry skin, or like is the product itself like balling up on itself? And I think that's what's happening here, because there will be little balls of pigment kind of, especially in like the corners of my mouth. I don't know, this doesn't like to be reapplied, and maybe if I had a shade better suited to my skin tone, that would be less noticeable. But just something I've noted and wanted to share. I still like it, I will still use it, but I will be more mindful and reapply less frequently, which also means it's going to last even longer. Like, it's going to take even longer for me to use up. So there were no rollouts for the first update of the year, which is to be expected. Even though I've kept this project kind of rolling, the things that I took from 2024 into 2025 were things that were lingering, that were really challenging to use up, and I just am not there yet. But I feel like I've made really good progress. I hope you can see with my usage that I'm really buckling down this year. Working outside of the home, I am doing my makeup more frequently, and I've been really good at like honing in on my project pan items and making some really great progress. I'm about to film another project pan update that half the products are getting refreshed, so keep your eyes open for that. And I am hoping for some pans or empties to share with you next month in this project. Let me know how you're doing on your project pans. Are you off to such a strong start like I feel that I am? Let me know in the comments and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!